good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are, no matter what time it is. Hey friend, and welcome to my channel. And if you're an old friend, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing part 3 of Lewks in the Library. Today's featured palette is the In the Buff palette by Beats by Deb Cosmetics. It's a very natural and nude palette. And I'm also going to be using one of the shades from the I Am from Vanessa Myrick's palette. I don't know which one yet, but we're going to keep it a little simple look today. So far, let's talk about the book. The book is crazy. The main character of this book is legitimately nothing I've ever read before. Miss Vernita. So she's in her 70s, but she's got the libido of a woman in her 30s, the looks of a woman in her 40s or 50s. She was married technically twice. Her first husband died, and that's where she met her second husband while her husband was dying. Do with that what you will. So then the second husband goes to jail, and I guess she forgets she's married to him, because one day when she's out and about doing what she does, he calls her and is like, get back home. Whatever. We've heard about her doing a threesome with 2 men. We've heard now her doing a threesome with a man and a woman. She has terminal brain cancer. Her best friend just had a heart attack, and her best friend's fiance is nowhere to be found. So if y'all are ready, so am I. Let's get back into the nonsense.
Thoughts about my own looming mortality. This wasn't right at all. I was supposed to be the first to go, not Alice. None of this was sitting right with me. Starting to feel a bit nauseated, I proceeded up out of my chair and looked up at Sade. Let's go smoke a cigarette. We need to have a break. It'll be a few hours before anything happens, I said. Sade agreed, then stood up. The two of us exited the ICU. A good 5 minutes later, she and I were out in the dark gray early evening in the designated smoking area of the hospital. Although I didn't smoke squares like that, I sure did need one right now. Some nicotine, a shot of some brown liquor, and even some reefer was exactly what I needed to simmer this damn headache and fatigue I had going on. Sade pulled out her pack of Newports and handed me a cig. She slapped one in her mouth, lit it up, and then passed me the light. As we stood there silently taking puffs on the cigarette, the chilly air somewhat provided relief to this lingering headache. Although I was quite certain it was still from that damn ecstasy pill, or whatever it was that nigga gave me last night, I had to be conscious of the fact that I had a ticking time bomb growing in my head. Maybe this was it. Maybe the tumor was going to finally grow and start to really begin to send my health on a decline. I took another drag from the cigarette, hoping the nicotine would calm my nerves, but it did nothing but amplify my anxiety. Having spent the last couple of hours by Alice's bedside was a bittersweet reminder that one day I was going to be in that very position. Unlike Alice, I didn't have grandchildren and others who would be there to surround me. And that was exactly why I needed Alice to live. She was the only one who, at the end of the day, truly cared for me. And I knew who would be there once this sickness really began to take over my body. Knowing all of this, I felt so bad and guilty, knowing that just yesterday, she expressed how she was more worried about me and concerned that her new love life would distract from our friendship. A long, cold tear dripped my eye, and once again I found myself fighting back the urge to break down and cry. This is just so messed up. Mama was so happy. This was the happiest I'd ever seen her in years. This is just so fucked up. I'm mad as hell right now. Like, I just want to hurt somebody. Sade sobbed. I'm mad too, but we just gotta be thankful that at least she is still alive right now. We don't know what's gonna happen, but we just gotta pray that the doctors have some good news for us, I told her. I truly felt bad for Sade, who was exceptionally close to her. Sade was a bit on the ratchet side and lived in some housing project over in Bronzeville. She was once a cute girl, but life seemed to have gotten the best of her lately. Although she was a hairdresser, her hair was an actual mess.
Okay.
She had a patchy short afro. The darkest circles were painted around her jaundiced eyes. Her mouth was filled with a few rotten, crooked teeth.
Oh my God.
She had a tooth missing here and there. In so many ways, she took on Alice's weak nature and let men run all over her. In fact, with all the stories Alice used to tell me, seemed like Sade was like Alice on steroids. You know they say the leaf don't fall far from the tree. Well, shit. In Sade's case, the leaf was still on the motherfucking tree. Shaking her head and wiping her face free of tears, Sade took a long drag from her cigarette and then tossed it into a light blanket of snow on the sidewalk. I'm gonna go back inside. Thank you, Miss Vernita, for being there for my mama. You know, you her number one road dog, she said, cracking a faint smile. Alice, my girl, I gotta be there for her no matter what, I said, smiling right back at her. I tossed the half-smoked cigarette into the snow, then trailed Sade back into the hospital, into the ICU. Making our way past the nurse's station, from afar I had noticed a few more folks were standing around Alice's room door. Those must have been Alice's people, and word was probably spreading quickly that she was in the ICU. Wow, this hospital sure did have a very relaxed visitors policy. Although these were Alice's kinfolk, I didn't like the sight of this at all. She didn't need all these damn people up in her room like this. Damn, they just gonna let everybody come up and visit her? I grunted to myself. Sade heard what I said and then looked back at me saying with wide eyes, I don't know who any of these people are. We got closer and then Sade said, Excuse me, who is y'all? We're Mr. Hawkins' security. Sorry for the disturbance, but we got clearance from the nurses that we could be here. Sade looked back at me and then back at the two fellows standing near the door. Security? Why Lamar got security? One of the men, who was this tall chocolate fellow, scrunched his eyebrows and said, Because, he needs security. Who in the hell was this Lamar figure? I was so thoroughly confused. Damn, I kind of had the idea that this Mr. Lamar had some kind of money, but security? I threw a nervous gawk at the gentleman and then strode into the room. Baby, I swore once I entered that room, I almost had a heart attack my damn self. Once my eyes set on Mr. Lamar,
Please don't
I
do this.
realized God was playing a really big-ass joke on me. I had to blink twice just to make sure this is who I thought it was. But it surely was him, just by that shiny bald head and goatee of his. I knew this Mr. Lamar. Knew him pretty well, actually. I fucked this nigga.
Oh my God.
Yes, child. I was bouncing all over his dick.
Alexa, pause. Oh, here I was thinking she was going to say it was Lamar Odom for some reason. But not your friend is getting married to a man you did the deed with. Messy boots. Ooh. So now, is she going to try to get back with him? Because you know she ain't got no common sense, and then on top of that, she's dying. By the way, you guys, we are listening to this with Key. She's trifling. Hold on, let me cut you up, because, you know, they can't hear you.
That woman is so trifling. She gonna try and break up that little thing. Watch.
It's what I'm saying.
No, because this is crazy.
All right, we're going to continue, but predictions. Let's do predictions real quick. I think she's going to try to get back with the dude. So now we know he's not taking her to the Bahamas just to take advantage of her then. Because if she knows the dude, she would know what his money's like. And Miss Vernita's not messing with no man without no money.
I mean, just because his money is legit don't mean that he ain't trying to, manipulate her,
True.
Because what I didn't think, I was like, why would somebody just up and bring you to a whole new country?
Right.
In 6 months.
Right.
He's trying to either kill you, enslave you, or a little bit of both. So I don't know.
It's crazy. All right.
So I don't know.
So my prediction is him and Vernita are gonna hook up, and of course she gonna. I'm thinking she gonna be the aggressor as usual.
Sure.
All right. So let's get back to it. Alexa, play.
Don't rub her either. I met Lamar some years back when I went on this monthly Caribbean cruise. I was ashamed to admit to this at this very moment, but baby, he was some good vacation dick. Lamar was sitting next to Alice's bedside, holding her hand, and he hadn't noticed me yet. With millions of butterflies flying my stomach, I quickly tried to dash back out of the room because I didn't want him to recognize me. Immense guilt once again filled me, and I didn't know how to navigate the hell out of this crazy, precarious situation. Lord, 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 why are you doing this to me? I suddenly thought to myself as I dashed back out of the room and zipped down the quiet ICU hallway. I had to get to the bathroom immediately because I was going to vomit all over the place.
Is she going to be clutching her chest?
I fucked my best friend's fiance.
Ooh.
Scrambling near the elevators, I asked someone who looked like a nurse where the closet bathroom was. Once they pointed me in its direction, I took off running and dashed inside. I found the closet stall, locked it, and began to puke all over the place. I barely had anything in my stomach, but what I did have came all the way up. The walls felt like they were closing in and my chest tightened.
Here we go with her
My
chest.
ass was gonna die tonight. I heard the doors to the bathroom whoosh open. Miss Vernita, is everything all right? That had to be Sade. She must have noticed I zipped out of that room like a track and field athlete. Yeah, I stammered. I'm fine. Just these meds got me a bit nauseous. I probably should have never smoked that cigarette. I lied. Oh, okay. Well, just let me know if you need me to get a nurse, she said. I will. Then I heard her leave out of the bathroom. I plopped myself up off the floor of the stall and exited out, making my way over to the closet sink. I splashed some water on my face just to make sure this was all still real. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow is right.
I fucked my best friend's man.
Now the question is, did she know?
How in the world was I going to explain this to her? The more I thought about it, though, the more it dawned on me that Lamar was rolling in some big money. Staring in the mirror, I tried my hardest to remember what he told me he did when he met me on the cruise. But my memory was so shot by now. I think he told me he did something in real estate or construction.
Not with security.
Whatever. My mind kept shooting blanks. I had it in me to just dip out of the hospital and take my trifling ass back home.
At least you know you tried.
But if I did that, everybody would be concerned. Besides, if and when Alice woke up from her coma, I was going to eventually have to reconnect with Lamar. How in the world was I ever going to explain this to Alice?
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 13. Child, ain't nobody got time to be caught up in bullshit. So rather than go back into the room, I snuck out of the hospital and jetted right the fuck back to Paulette.
Now she ran
Once
away.
I chucked the engine on, I sped out of the parking lot and zipped right back home. A minute later, my phone began ringing. I looked down and instantly recognized it was Sade's number. I wonder why she had this new phone number. Then again, probably because her broke ass had one of them new government phones. broke hoe. Miss Vanita, where are you? You still in the bathroom? No, girl, I'm so sorry. I had to zip back home because I forgot my medicine. I lied. And I thought I left my stove on. I'm gonna be back up there, maybe later tonight. Is everything all right? Oh, dang. Why you didn't come back to the room and tell us? Girl, I had to leave immediately. I gotta take this medicine at a certain time, but I'm gonna be back up there, I promise. I lied again. Ain't no way in hell I was gonna meet Lamar again. Not now, not never. If Alice ever found out what happened between us, I just knew she'd be devastated. And then she might have another heart attack and die, if she survives this one. Oh, alrighty then. Well, call me once you come back up here. I may need another ride, 'cause you know I ain't really getting along with my nieces and them like that, explained Sade. I instantly rolled my eyes. Bitch better get on a bus or something, because I sure wasn't running my ass back up to that hospital. At least not anytime soon. If I went back, I was gonna have to make sure that Lamar's ass wasn't there. Okay, I will, I said, then hung up. When I arrived home minutes later, I made my way straight to the bathroom. I needed a hot-ass bath with lots of Epsom salt and lavender. It was just too much bullshit going on. Too much. Just when I was getting my mojo, it seemed like life was throwing me some more bullshit to deal with.
'Cause you're
After
old.
I had fixed my bath, I had now found myself laying in the tub, sipping on some Hennessy and smoking me a big joint. If Sade called, I was just gonna ignore it, text her in the morning, and tell her I got sick and fell asleep. I laid in the tub for about a good 2 hours, damn near drifting off to sleep. The combination of the weed, liquor, and bath worked some good magic on me because I didn't feel as frazzled and nauseous anymore. Although I was still a tad upset about Alice's condition, I was just going to have to let that go and let God. Besides, there was nothing I could do other than just hope and pray everything would be okay. Yeah, a part of me felt very guilty for storming out of the hospital
You should.
and abandoning my girl and her
You
family
should.
in a time of need. But hey, it is what it is. I just needed to come up with a way to make sure Lamar never recognized me. But at this point, that seemed impossible. I was going to have to eventually meet this nigga face to face. To be honest, thinking about that cruise years back, child, I was getting wet all over again.
Oh my God.
Lamar was such a
Please.
gentleman, too. Too bad I didn't really want to take things further with him. At the time, I just wanted a good dig down and nothing else. Ironically,
Now she's fantasizing about her best friend's fiance
cruise
again.
But I wasn't going for any of that. Well,
Arrest
seems
her.
like Alice found her a good catch. If she survives.
Let me tell you something. If Alice
The
dies,
following
she's taking her
morning, I
man.
woke up at 7 a.m. on the dot and called the oncologist's office. I wanted to book an appointment ASAP and tell this white man face to face that I was going to get a second opinion about my cancer. Ain't no way in hell I was going to be content not doing anything about this. I wanted to live. I had to live. Shit, I had too much in me just to let my life end this way. Like I told you, I want to go out soft as cream and in my sleep. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to allow myself to die a painful death if I can help it. Cancer just seems so depressing and grueling.
Yes,
No,
because
ma'am.
cancer's so
I'm not
fun.
speaking that into my life. Luckily, the receptionist was able to squeeze me into a 9 o'clock appointment. So I quickly hopped out of the bed, took a shower, threw an outfit on, and made my way out of the door. Before I walked up to my car, I looked across the lawn and saw a neon Dodge Charger parked out in the front. My curiosity was immediately piqued.
Yo,
As
Alexa,
what?
pause. She just had someone to move into her house. If Lamar moves next door, it's over for his relationship with her quote-unquote best friend. And somebody need to teach her about friendship, because I wish my best friend would. TK will come up missing. I'm sending the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost to the studs. All right. My prediction is Lamar is going to move next to her. I don't know why. Because this book is messy, it would just be fitting. Alexa, play.
I knew about people who drove Chargers. Most usually, it was a nigga with a big dick.
Oh my God.
A roughneck felon having thug nigga too. And you already know how I crave me some felon dick.
What did the last one do to you?
There was a part of me that wanted to quickly jot over and see if anyone was home.
Alexa, pause.
Is there any type of penis on the planet that you don't crave? Is my question. I think we would have a shorter time running up the list of who you wouldn't touch.
So if you didn't catch that, he just said, is there any penis on the planet you don't crave? To that statement, I say, clock that T, sister. But I'm thinking, after all that's going on, has she forgotten about the last felon, thug, roughneck dick she sat on? Didn't he just leave to get a young girl pregnant and called you an old biddy and you tried to kill him and was unsuccessful?
Unsuccessfully killing that man should be your greatest embarrassment.
Greatest.
Should be your greatest.
Because that man woke up and was like, ooh, that was some good rest. You probably just sitting there looking like,
Are you well?
Are you well? Like, okay now. All right, Alexa, play.
I just had to know who my new neighbors were. Girl, if you don't stop with your crazy ass. I mumbled to myself, then chuckled, shaking my head at my craziness. I just kept laughing to myself as I hopped in Paulette, chucked up the engine, and made my way to my oncologist's office. The doctor's office wasn't too far away from my townhouse, so about 7 minutes later I pulled into the parking garage and made my way inside.
Well, it may not be Lamar because she only lives in a townhouse.
I was escorted to an examination room and was told that the doctor would be with me shortly. Damn near 30 minutes went by and this old honky still hadn't come in yet. Shortly, my ass didn't even peek his head in just to tell me he was running behind. This was exactly why I was going to change my doctors. This white man had me all the way fucked up if he thought I had all the motherfucking patience in the world to wait on his ass. I had other shit to do today. And just like that, the door cracked open and to my surprise, some Asian man bumbled through the door with a weird-ass smile on his face. Miss Washington, pleasure to see you. I'm Dr. Teng Li.
The accent
Rolling
is
my
taking
eyes
me
to
out.
the ceiling, I replied, I'm fine, doctor. Doing just well. I never met you before. Why are you here? Well, I don't know if the nurse made you aware, but Dr. Newman had a sudden medical emergency and he's going to be out of the office indefinitely. Dr. Cheng Li explained as he sat down and fumbled through the paperwork on his clipboard. Oddly enough, before you came in, I've been going over your scans and tests and I am so thoroughly confused. Well, I am glad you're confused because the reason I came in today was just to let Dr. Newman know I'm going to be going to another doctor to get a second opinion about my diagnosis. I am not satisfied with his level of care. He just pretty much told me there was nothing I could do but just let time go by and from there consider different pain treatments. I am not ready to die. Dr. Cheng Li pursed his lips and didn't say a word. He looked back down at his clipboard, rummaging through the thick wad of paper clipped to it. I understand. I think getting a second opinion is a good thing, but before you do that, I think we should just run a few more tests to look at the tumor. My face screwed up into disgust. The hell for what?
First of all, hold
no.
on. Alexa, pause. My oncologist would never. To come in there, first of all, I've actually had a doctor who came in and was like, there's nothing you can do, you're going to die. And I was like, oh, excuse me? Called my mother immediately. I was like, Rosalind, they in here trying to kill me. Get here now. And she was there within 10-15 minutes. But my actual oncologist, shout out to Maria Russell, Dr. Maria Russell, she's like the most patient woman I've ever met. She don't let me wallow in my whatever. She'd be like, all right, we're going to have to do this, this, and this. She gave me literally 24 hours to mourn. And she was like, well, we got stuff to do. Like, She would never. The type of care she shows with each and all of her patients is crazy. We don't ever feel rushed. She be in there talking to my sister, talking to my mom. Whoever I bring with me, she's like, well, hey, girl. Like, she knows how involved my sister is. So she literally was like, oh, this is Dr. Butler. Like, that's supposed to be your level of care. So her doctor came into her room and was like, oh, by the way, old lady, you dying. What? And now he mysteriously is gone? Maybe one of his other patients came in and knocked his ass out. That's my prediction. We're going to continue that. Alexa. Alexa, play.
Hell no. Y'all just trying to keep me. All y'all care about is money. Miss Washington, I don't know how to explain this,
Just
but
spit it out.
I think it's very important that we go ahead and run another battery of tests on you just to confirm what I said. But this time my tone was a bit loud and angry.
I don't think you have
it.
it.
Sick of their shit.
Okay.
Well, I think there's a remote possibility that there has been some small mix-up in your files. I just want to make sure that before you run and get that second diagnosis that you hear it from us first. All of a sudden, this feeling of confusion swarmed me. What in the hell are you talking about?
Right, spit it out.
Dr. Chang Lee then said,
Oh, the doctor was poisoning her.
well, Dr. Newman has been getting up in age and his vision has been a bit muddled. There is a possibility that your cancer may not be as advanced as we initially thought. In fact, you may not necessarily have cancer at all. My eyes widened with shock. Excuse me?
Alexa, pause. Talk to me. If she don't have it and she's been taking these drugs, she better sue. You better sue. Get your money, Miss Vernita. And then you and Alice go off to the Bahamas alone. Get your money. Ooh, now it's getting juicy on a different type of juicy. Alexa, play.
Yes, unfortunately, there may have been some serious issues with how Dr. Newman diagnosed your tumor. I have a feeling that you may have just developed a small, benign, non-cancerous mass. It's actually very common, but Dr. Newman may have misread some of your charts and scans and diagnosed you with an advanced form of cancer. You have got to be fucking kidding. So you mean to tell me all this fucking time I didn't have cancer? Please, ma'am. I'm sorry. I know this is very alarming and we are combing through all of Dr. Newman's files to see if this has happened to any other patient. The doctor tried to explain.
Get your money.
At this point, every motherfucking thing this man had to say went through one ear and out the other. I'd be damned. For the last 6 months or so, I had been walking around here thinking that my days on earth were numbered and that I'd soon be going on to glory.
Girl, you're not going to glory. Let's start there. You're not going to glory.
I was still confused. So wait one damn minute.
Yep, clock
if
that
I
cheek.
don't have cancer, then why in the hell do I have these dizzy spells? And why is it that my vision goes in and out?
They have you taking cancer
Well,
medicine.
That's very common symptomology associated with these types of benign tumors. He explained. Vertigo, dizziness, loss of vision, headaches. Sometimes these symptoms run congruent with worse tumors, but nonetheless, in time, tumors like this stop growing and sometimes they just go away altogether.
That's
That
crazy.
just might be the case with your situation.
This is
I
crazy.
shook my head in total disbelief. A part of me was relieved to a degree. That's if this doctor was telling the truth and he wasn't misdiagnosing me. But there was another part of me that was fuming with rage. I ought to sue the hell out of y'all.
As you should.
Y'all could have killed me. I know. I'm sorry, Mrs. Washington. I really am.
I know it's
I was
crazy
walking
though.
around here with all types of anxiety and depression. I completely
She
understand,
could
Miss
have
Washington.
unalived
Dr.
herself.
Chang Lee said as he looked back at his clipboard. This is a very unfortunate situation, but the good thing is once we run these blood tests, we can make a final confirmation that everything for the most part is fine. But I have to ask, Miss Washington, what's that? Well, going through your medical history, some years ago you were prescribed a medication called Mirapex. I believe your GP or family physician may have given it to you to help you with restless leg syndrome. Yes, I still take that from time to time, especially when my legs get really bad. But it doesn't bother me. Why do you ask? Are you aware of some of the other side effects of this drug?
You can sue everyone.
My eyes bloomed wide open once again. No? What kind of side effects? Dr. Chang Lee cleared his throat and said, well, I don't know if your GP explained to you exactly how this drug works. Mirapex is the brand name, but it's commonly known as pramipexole. It's what we call an anti-Parkinsonian dopaminergic.
If you don't speak English...
My mouth flung wide open. Huh? What?
For Parkinson's?
All of this is over my head. Break it down in layman's terms. Well, Mirapex is usually prescribed to people who've been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. It's supposed to help them with their twitches because their nervous system is failing. But sometimes it's used for people with restless leg syndrome. However, the drug is currently under a major investigation by the FDA because it can cause the growth of these types of tumors.
Oh, she's gonna get a big bag.
Also,
big
a lot
bag.
of patients who are prescribed this drug end up, they end up developing hypersexuality. I'm confused. Please, just get to the goddamn point. Y'all done already made me mad.
Pause! Could it be? Could it really be? Is she not a thought?
I'm screaming.
First of all, live in your sexuality, do what you need to do. But in terms of the book, in terms of the medicine causing this, could she really be a normal 70-year-old woman? Now, if they tell her to stop taking this and her libido decreases, she's going to be mad. Either way, she's not going to be happy. Imagine living decades thinking you're hypersexual and doing everybody you want to do. Oh, I'm suing everybody involved.
She started taking it. Didn't she start taking that like around the same time that her husband got sick or something?
I don't know.
When she started stepping out on him?
I don't remember. Hopefully they say it.
Yeah, they need to run it back.
Run that back.
Because the block one, yeah. A full circle movement needs to come around.
So let's jot this down. Write this down.
Write this down.
You start taking medicines for your restless leg. I'm wondering if before that, she may have originally had a high sex drive, but this probably like clicked something in her brain and was like, get the dick now.
Right.
So then she's taking the medicine. She turns into super freak.
She's super freak.
Then, years later, we find out this medicine has caused a tumor, which she then goes, starts experiencing blackouts, blurry vision. She's cooking, she passes out, puts her in the hospital. Walk with me if you're still here. She's in the hospital. Dr. Kevorkian here has told her she has aggressive terminal brain cancer. Put her on strong medication. So now she got messed up medication number 1 and messed up medication number 2 working in tandem to take her down. I hope you're still with me. 6 months goes in and she's slowly dying. She can't drink. She can't, do what she do. Her man left her and got another young girl pregnant. So now she's like, I'm going to get this second opinion. Boom, her best friend's in the hospital. Stress on stress on stress. Then she goes back. She picks up her her girdle and gets back in the hospital. Says, I want a second opinion. Her doctor's nowhere to be found. In walks another doctor who tells her, first of all, he's hemming and hawing, trying to, tell her what's going on. At that point, I would have said, spit it out. I don't have all day for this. Tells her, oh, the doctor's too old and he could have messed up what he saw. Excuse me? You would have had to pick everybody in the hospital up off the floor. No one would have survived. So on top of that, didn't you find out your medicine from decades ago causes this and is now the reason for your high sex drive? And you think that's just a personality trait. Lord have mercy. All right. So if she stops taking this, is she going to get with Lamar? I still think there's something there. Alexa, play.
And, okay, this may seem like an inappropriate question, but have you been sexually promiscuous since you started taking this drug? I didn't know what to say.
That would be yes. Yep.
It's okay. Sorry I asked, but you don't have to answer. But if you may, please let us run the necessary blood test so we can clear you. And
I would let them run every test and document everything.
Leg syndrome.
The way I would have started recording that conversation.
My mind was drawing blanks. So you said this medication can cause people to be promiscuous?
Promiscuous, right?
I still have sexual relations every now and then, but...
Alexa, pause.
Every now and then,
Vernita, at some point we have to look within. At some point we must look within. What we're not going to sit up here and do is that. We're not going to do that. We're not doing that. Like, every now and then is crazy. Like, girl, tell the truth, shame the devil. And that's why you're not going to glory. Alexa, play.
Is that necessarily a bad thing? Dr. Chang Lee shrugged his shoulders. I guess it depends on how comfortable you are with how the medication makes you feel. These types of drugs often turn people into compulsive sex addicts and gamblers. They usually feel like they're losing control and often end up engaging in very risky sexual behaviors. Even in my age?
Like marrying
yes,
a son?
Even in your age. Wow. Okay. This is a lot. This is just too much. I'm going to talk to my lawyer about all of this mess. I understand completely, Miss Washington, but please, in the meantime, let us run these additional tests. Fine. I had enough, and I just wanted to get the hell up out of this office.
Call your lawyer.
This was just too much for my mind to handle. Way too much shit was going on, and now it seemed like the one thing that was for sure going to kill me was all this anxiety and panic. These doctors were straight up reckless. I should have known better and tried to find me a black doctor.
Hello?
Because I swear these white doctors were on a mission to kill us black folk. I agreed to let this damn new doctor run all the necessary tests on me. I had to stay behind an extra hour or so for them to quickly get the results. And lo and motherfucking behold, I was indeed cancer-free.
Oh my God.
Never even had it from the very beginning. Once I was done, I stormed out of the office and headed back to my car. Inside, I sat in the driver's seat staring at the steering wheel, wondering who I really was. I couldn't believe that a medication could make me the freak I was. Nonetheless, the more I thought about it, the more it all made sense. I started taking that goddamn medication right around the time Clarence was admitted to long-term nursing after his stroke. This is I started taking that medicine and I turned into a whole sex addict. But, truth be told, I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, there were moments where I felt out of control. But baby, I loved it. I absolutely loved all of it. I'd be damned if I was going to stop taking that medicine, especially if it made me fuck like a beast.
I mean, get your life. At least it's your choice.
14. Right. It was a cold, yet sunny Friday morning. 10 a.m. flashed on my alarm clock. Ever since I had learned that I didn't have cancer, and that this medication I had been taking all these years had been messing with my sex drive, I couldn't go anywhere. For the past 3 days, I had been held up in my house, mainly sleeping in bed. Although I was tempted to continue taking the medicine, I realized I had to slow my roll. I didn't know what other side effects might result if I continued taking it.
He told you.
Thank God the tumor turned out not to be cancerous. However, the more I thought about it, the more I realized the doctor was right. I needed to think about getting off that medicine so it wouldn't cause me to have any other issues. Sade had been blowing my phone up asking if everything was okay. I told her I was severely under the weather and that I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it out to the hospital to be by Alice's side.
You could have just told her the truth.
She told me she would keep me updated about Alice's condition. She was still in a coma, apparently. By the grace of God, the doctors had said that Alice didn't sustain that much injury to her heart or brain. However, they were keeping her heavily sedated to allow her body to heal as much as it could while they kept her under observation. Now that I had been weaning myself off this medication, this weird depression set in, and I was feeling so unmotivated. I tried to use some other herbal supplements to see if that could help me out with my energy levels, but nothing worked. I was zapped. Shit. I grumbled to myself as I managed to crawl out of the bed and make my way into the kitchen to fix myself a pot of coffee. That wasn't helping either, but it was doing a good job of at least getting rid of the headaches I was experiencing from withdrawing from the medicine. All of it made complete sense now that I had time to myself to really contemplate the last couple of years, especially the last 6 months. When I found out I had cancer, I scaled back on taking the medicine, and my sex drive went out of the window. However, as soon as my legs started twitching again, and I started taking that medicine, it just so happened that I started to feel like my old self again. After I fixed myself a cup of coffee, I sat down in my living room and returned back into a slump on the couch. I turned on the television and flipped through channels. Once I landed on one of these crazy court shows, I went into a daze. My mind filled with so many dreadful thoughts, and I really started to feel like I was in my upper 70s. Oh, Lord, this heavy feeling was just too much. As some minutes passed, I just sat there with my eyes latched onto the television, but I wasn't paying attention at all. Everything just seemed like one big blur. Suddenly, a weird urge bubbled up in me. I had to take that medicine. I just wasn't feeling right. I needed it. It made me feel so different. All of a sudden, I got up from the couch and, like a zombie, walked back into my bathroom. I went through my medicine cabinet and pulled out the bottle of Mirapex. I popped the cap open and took a deep stare at the sea of pills. The doctor prescribed for me to take 2 a day, but I had it in me to double up. I was so damn
She's taking her medicine again because she don't feel like herself.
Just to get my energy levels back up.
But honestly, she's 70. Do what you want.
I got 4 pills in my left palm and stared at them for a moment. Then, without hesitation, I threw them back in my mouth and swallowed them. I ran some cold water in my bathroom sink and then cupped some water in my palm to wash the pills down. Hopefully those pills would kick in soon. I couldn't waste another day lounging around the house, and I started noticing I was becoming very flabby. I needed to get in the fitness club ASAP. So I took my robe off, then hopped in the shower. Some 20 minutes later or so, I was in my gym attire. But now, it was approaching 11 a.m. and as I made my way out of the door, my phone started buzzing. I whipped it out of my purse and saw I had got a message from Sade. "Miss Vanita, Mama is awake," she texted me. My eyes beamed with excitement when I read her text message. Thank God! I clutched my chest and wanted to suddenly burst out with tears of joy. I quickly shot her a text back, telling her that I was going to be at the hospital as soon as I got done with running my errands. I threw my phone back in my pocketbook, then pulled out my keys as I strolled up to Paulette. However, before I hopped in my car, I heard the rumbling of that green Charger parked in my new neighbor's driveway. The windows were completely tinted, so I couldn't make out if someone was in the driver's seat. Since it was very cold out, it could have been that whoever my new neighbor was had a remote ignition and started up their car while they were still inside the house. But then, just as I was about to open up the car door and get in, the driver's side window of the Charger rolled down and I saw what looked like an older chocolate woman sitting behind the steering wheel. That caught me by surprise. Damn it. Child, I just knew that car belonged to a roughneck nigga in possession of a big dick.
Please.
Hey, you, my new neighbor, the woman shouted out as she flashed a huge smile, revealing a mouthful of gold teeth.
I know
That really took me by surprise. Hey there, how are you? I smiled back as I walked over to the car. However, the closer I got, the more I realized this woman had to be at least in her late 60s, if not early 70s.
Not you done met your counterpart.
She could have been my age.
That's gonna be her new bestie.
I'm Vanita Washington, I said.
Oh, she about to be back on the
extending
Mr.
my
Heavy.
hand through her window. She reached her hand out. I'm Rodessa. Nice to meet you.
Rodessa is
She exclaimed
crazy.
through a discernibly thick southern accent. She sounded like she was from Memphis, maybe even Mississippi. I had to ask. I saw you just moved in a week or so ago. You from Chicago? No, from Memphis. Me and my husband just moved here not too long ago. Well, he's actually from Chicago. My assumption was confirmed. Rodessa and I continued to talk for a few more minutes. She told me she and her husband, Ricky, had owned a number of businesses back in Memphis. They wanted a change of scenery, so they sold the houses and decided to get into real estate, flipping or something like that. Child, I had no idea what all of that meant. I was just so caught up in the fact that this woman had a mouthful of gold teeth. Then the outfit she had on.
I know she's not
She was
judging
dressed
nobody.
like she was about to go to one of those hood nightclubs on the south side. Although it wasn't extremely freezing outside, I wondered if this woman knew just exactly how cold it got in Chicago. She was dressed like she were in the middle of an Atlanta winter. Child, you know folks down south swore 40 degrees was cold. Hell, that's a spring in Chicago. Anyways, Rodessa's complexion was dark chocolate, but the woman had a loud purple weave stitched into her head. To top it off, her entire face was covered in the thickest of makeup. Where in the hell was she going? Had to be to the strip club. I was almost certain. Ooh, child, the ghetto.
I know.
Yeah, Ricky and I been flipping houses, like I said, for quite some time now. She continued talking about real estate and her other hustles. Speaking of which, I wish this motherfucker would hurry up, she said, smacking her teeth. She started honking her car horn. Slow ass boy. Well, anyways, Rodessa, it was nice to meet you. I'm gonna go ahead and head to the health club, I said, trying my best to quickly end the conversation. Oh, it was nice meeting you too, Vanita. Maybe one day I can invite you over for some drinks and shit.
Oh.
My husband used to be a bartender. He can make some decent-ass drinks, girl. Sure, why not? I said back to her. Although if she was seriously going to invite me, I'd probably decline the invitation. She just seemed a bit too hood for my liking.
Okay.
Now, I ain't got anything against hood folks. Hell, I was born and raised in the ghetto. But as soon as I got married to Clarence, I moved the hell out and spent a good chunk of my life living around nothing but white folks.
All right.
Granted, Rodessa was much older and probably didn't keep up no mess, but
so
I was
this is
just
the
floored
shit
to
that I
meet
keep
someone
up
who
with.
was in my age range or much younger. Then again, who was I to judge? Hell, I pretty much had been doing the same thing. But hell, I was classy with mine. This chick just looked like she was doing the most. Although it wasn't my business to ask just exactly how old she was, I just knew from them wrinkles in her neck and those moles on her face that she was pushing at least 70, at the minimum. I had it in me to ask, but I really wanted this conversation to be over already. "Finally!" shouted Rodessa. "Slow ass nickel." I turned around to make out who this Ricky that Rodessa was married to. But baby, let me tell you something. When my eyes latched on to Ricky, I almost collapsed right in the goddamn driveway. This was one fine specimen of a man. My pearl was stomping in my panties, and if I didn't control myself, my juices were going to freeze up in this cold. Ricky was tall and thick. I mean really thick. Not fat, but thick. He stood at least 7 feet tall and had long dreadlocks running down his back, although he was still feet away from me. From afar, I could see he had piercing greenish hazel eyes. They were Asian-like, too. This boy had to be from somewhere, probably some island in the Caribbean. Had to be. Oh, and his skin? This nigga had a bronze glow. You hear me? A glow. He had this broad, chiseled face with this well-trimmed beard wrapped around his face. He walked up to me and I just stood there in shock. Ooh, child. Yes, he is. She laughed. Now, I hated to be that type of woman, but as Ricky walked up to me, I was trying my best to figure out how this old ghetto hag could snatch up a fine-ass nigga like this.
Already.
Ain't no way in hell. Rhodessa obviously had to be the breadwinner, and this boy was just mooching off her. Shit, he could mooch off me too. Mooch off this fat cooch. But you know what? That was another thing.
Madam, please.
This boy looked like he was no older than 30. How in the hell did she get with a boy like this? Now if she invited me over for some drinks, I was definitely going to take up that invite. Standing inches away from him, I couldn't help but stare at this nigga. I gave him a quick up and down scan. The boy had on some gray sweatpants, so you already know the first thing I noticed was that elephant trunk of a dick right on the top of his leg. My palms got sweaty and I felt the hair on the back of my neck rise. That medicine was really kicking in, and my ovaries was ready to explode. If I was 30 years young, I would have definitely been trying to have his baby. Hey there, you must be our neighbor. I'm rich, but everyone calls me Ricky. Nice to meet you, Ricky said as he extended his hand. I reached my hand out and slowly shook his hand. And ooh, child, his hand was so big, thick, and hard. I usually hated it when men had fucked up hands and fingernails, but when I felt those calluses on his palm, that sent me into a deeper frenzy. This meant that nigga could lift some serious weights, and if he could pull and push some serious weight, that meant he could toss my ass right. This ain't right. This ain't right at all. That medicine was really going into overdrive, and there was a part of me that wanted to instantly fall to my knees and get to sucking that dick in an expeditious manner.
Ma'am!
I wanted to drain them nuts of every sperm cell up in there.
Ma'am!
Baby, I wanted to suck the lining of his dick and ass.
Ma'am!
Clenching my fist hard, I had to suddenly snap myself back into reality. I was making it way too obvious that I was feeling a certain type of way about this man. You're a handsome man, I said as I pulled my hand back and then looked at Rhodessa. Honey, you better be careful out here in these Chicago streets. One of these young bitches might try to throw themselves at your man. Oh, no. He know better. I'll fuck him up if he even think to look twice at one of these ratchet-ass hoes, she laughingly roared. Besides, no offense, but these Chicago girls are a bit rough around the edges. Dirty as hell, too. Not saying anything back, I just shrugged my shoulders. But then again, well, that's any city. I'm pretty sure they got some rough ones in Memphis, too. Now, I knew this old washed-up trick wasn't talking about folks. Her ass looked a hot-ass mess with that crazy wig and outfit on. Shit, you ain't lying, Ricky commented. Just like that, Rhodessa's facial expression went from that of laughing to rage. She smacked her teeth, then shouted, Boy, get your ass in this car. We already running late for this fucking meeting. Bruh, calm down. I had to send out that email, Ricky said as he walked over to the front passenger door. Sensing the tension, I simply said, well, I'll catch up with you all later and let me know when you want to have those drinks. I will, Rhodessa replied, but this time a faint smile was on her face. I could sense the shift in attitude. Guess when I rebutted her and Ricky agreed, she didn't take well to that. She rolled her window up and then quickly pulled out of her driveway. I spun around and then sauntered back over to my car. Can't believe I got an old Thot living next door to me. Hell, I thought I was the old hoe.
And
guess
you are.
I'm beat, I said to myself, shrugging my shoulders. What a world we live in. I wondered if her ass was on some medication too. Chapter 15. The health club was virtually empty, and that was exactly how I liked it. I hated working out when everyone and their mammy was here. It had been quite some time since I stepped foot in the gym, but it sure did feel good to be back. Lord knows it did. I was down on the main floor in the cardio section. I loved walking on a treadmill for a good hour while I listened to my music before I hit the weights. As Cardi B played into my earphones, I dance-walked on the treadmill. Baby, these thighs needed to get back to shape. And truth be told, once I got done walking on this treadmill, I needed to run over to the leg extension machine to work on my quads. My knees were starting to give me some issues.
So your friend
Perhaps I should look into getting me a personal trainer.
Right, hold on. Alexa, pause. Come on, Sister Kimani, clock it.
So your friend wake up from her coma.
Boom, awake.
You go to the gym.
First you flirt with your neighbor. And then go to the gym. Miss, I'm gonna be by her side, 'cause she my only friend.
This is the friend that took you to the hospital when you passed out.
And to dinner, and tried to hook you up with a sensible man. But this is also the same woman you cussed out the day before 'cause she found some happiness. And then you mad now 'cause you done met your match, who just happens to be your next door neighbor. Ow! The tables are turning. Catch the wind, Kimani. Catch the wind, you guys. Play.
Earlier and took a peep around at the trainers that were currently working there. None of them piqued my interest. And by piquing my interest, what I really meant was that none of them niggas looked good, and I didn't want to waste my time getting worked out by some young stank heifer.
Okay.
I just continued to work out using the little knowledge I still had from when Markel used to work me out. I sure did miss that boy from time to time. Aside from the good dick, he was also a good conversation. We used to talk about everything. Deep into my treadmill workout, I had my eyes laser focused on the calorie counter. I was going to make sure I burned at least 400 calories. I closed my eyes and held on to the machine. My imagination went off thinking about nothing but dick. That medicine was starting to go into overtime in my body. Tomorrow I had better scale back and go back to only popping 2 pills. All of a sudden, my eyes popped wide open when I felt a few taps on my shoulders. I glanced over my right shoulder and lo and behold, it was Mr. Juan. I immediately stopped the treadmill and yanked my earphones off. Mr. Juan, how are you? You work out at this gym? I've never seen you here before. Yes, ma'am, he confidently answered.
The accents are crazy.
With the grin on his sexy-ass face, revealing those pretty teeth. Child, I swore this Mexican man was so delicious looking. I wanted to ride his face.
Okay.
Shit, he could ride my face.
All right.
I see you are getting to it. You look good for your age.
The accents are crazy.
The accents are so crazy.
Thank you so much for the compliment. You look pretty good yourself.
Vernita, please.
Ooh, child, I just knew I was blushing.
Oh my
This
God, please.
pussy was blushing too. Blushing and gushing. Gracias. He grinned once again, then licked his lips.
Please.
Bitch, my knees were gonna buckle, and I was gonna have to run to the bathroom and play with my pearl if this didn't get immediately away from me. So, what kind of workouts do you do? He asked as he started stretching. The boy had on nothing but a tight-fitting black tank top that revealed
She
all
needs
of
to
those
get it
tattoos
together. Alexa,
running down.
Pause. She needs to get it together, like, immediately.
So, like, it's never that serious.
Never! Like, girl, put it away.
This is out of control.
Like, what is going on with the quadroons? Play.
The arms. So many veins were running all over his forearms. Child, I could only imagine how many veins were running all over that dick of his. And he looked like he had a big old pretty dick.
You need
But
counseling.
then, as I thought about it, you know the Mexicans don't be circumcised. And uncut dicks was a huge turnoff for me. Vanita doesn't like pulling no dick skin back.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's just damn nasty.
Oh, it's crazy.
Well, it depends. My workouts vary, but I try
Brother,
to do exercises to keep my legs
what's
toned
that,
and whatnot.
brother?
I don't put too much weight because I'm not trying to look all butch. I'll leave that to the young guys, I said, chuckling. Yeah, I feel you. I do light workouts too. I try not to lift too many weights because it affects my boxing. My eyebrow raised. You're a boxer? Yeah, Golden Gloves champion all throughout high school. Wow.
Lord,
Oh,
she
yes,
cannot
and
keep it in her pants.
One was gonna have to pound on this pussy. Not to infringe on anything, but you said you were gonna call me about some moving needs. Were you still shopping around? You know, I've been caught up in some other stuff that it totally slipped my mind that I was supposed to call you, I told him. One of my good friends is actually in the hospital.
Oh,
And
now
I've been
she's your good
stressed out
friend.
about that situation along with some other personal stuff. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. It's
Oh.
okay, though.
Now she's your friend.
Well, perhaps I could give you a call later on tonight. Juan hesitated, then said, or maybe I can come by and we can talk in more detail.
Oh, well, I'm trying to get some old coochie
immediately
too.
shot open out of surprise. Come by my place? Hell, sign Vanita up. Baby, you can come anytime you want. Oh, okay, well, I'll be free later on tonight. I just gotta go check on my friend because I just found out she's doing better.
Alexa,
Time.
pause. Like, I don't want no friends like her.
At all.
I don't. With friends like that, you don't need an enemy. Alexa, play.
You, Mr. Juan. I threw him a seductive grin. Mr. Juan scrunched his face, then licked his lips.
Oh,
Sure. Perhaps. I'm free after 5 p.m. Cool. Well, I need to finish my workout and then head out to the hospital. I still have your business card, so I'll tell you when I'm free. How does that sound?
slut.
Sounds great, Miss Vanita.
Vernita.
Oh, you remember my name and everything, huh?
He
Of
trying
course.
to get in your jaw.
Juan said as he flashed another sexy grin, then licked his lips.
Girl.
He rubbed his goatee and his eyes turned to curious slits as I noticed he quickly scanned my body up and down.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. He was definitely feeling me. And I was feeling him too.
okay.
Wow. You know, it must have been something in this medicine that had these boys all over me. Maybe this medicine made my natural smell waft in the air, and these boys could pick up on it.
Girl.
After all, I know my pussy got a delectable smell and flavor to it. And I know that for sure, because anytime I suck some dick after I let a nigga knock these sugar walls down, I just had to get a taste of it myself. Excuse me, ma'am. Is everything okay? Huh? My face scrunched into utter confusion. In the blink of an eye, Mr. Juan had disappeared, and now standing in front of me was one of those ugly-ass personal trainers. What are you talking about? I asked as I suddenly got annoyed. Damn, where did Juan just jet off to? What the hell just happened? The personal trainer, who was short and kind of chubby, just stood there holding his waist with this look of confusion plastered on his face. Well, you had been talking to yourself for quite some time. You were having a whole ass conversation as if someone was standing next to you or something. Is everything okay?
Oh,
I smacked my teeth and rolled my eyes. Boy, get away from me. Let me guess. This is your way of trying to get me to sign up for them personal training sessions y'all selling. Well, if that's the case, I ain't interested. I already have a personal trainer. This boy needed to get the hell on before I smacked the fuck out of him. But damn, where did Mr. Wan go? I looked around and didn't see a single trace of him. How in the hell did he just disappear that quickly? No, ma'am. Actually, my schedule is already booked and I'm not certified to work out senior citizens. Mr. Ron is the trainer with that type of expertise, he replied with a concerned, raised brow. But like I said, I've been watching you for a minute now and you were talking to yourself. At first I thought you were on the phone. Please, I don't have time for the motherfucking games. Get the hell away from me. You know good and goddamn well I was standing here talking to someone. He was just standing there. He probably went to go lift some weights. No, ma'am. The trainer replied again, shaking his head. He pursed his lips and walked off. This strange feeling overcame me, and then I immediately hopped off the treadmill. I scurried over to the weight section and looked for Juan, but the entire area was clear. Literally, nobody was in the gym. Getting nervous and wondering how in the hell he just zipped off like that, I made my way over to the check-in desk because I had to ask the receptionist if she'd seen Juan. Excuse me, miss, I announced. She spun around in her seat and looked at me. Yes, she replied with this annoyed look on her face. One of my friends was just in the gym and I was wondering where he went. He was a tall Hispanic young man who looked no older than 30, very handsome with a nice beard. You seen him? No, ma'am. You're actually the only one in here at the moment. Noon is a dead time and the only other people who came in were 2 people looking to get a membership, she replied, then threw her eyes back onto her phone. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. You're literally the only person here right now, ma'am. Rage suddenly filled my core and I was ready to explode. I think you lying to me. All you motherfuckers are lying to me. Where's my friend? The receptionist girl, some young yellow fat girl with micro braids, shot me a look of concern. Ma'am, calm down. What's the problem? Just like that, I snapped back into reality and clutched my chest out of surprise that I just had an unexpected meltdown like that. What in the hell was happening to me?
That's kind of what happened when you
Ma'am, is everything okay? Do you need me to call someone? The receptionist asked again. No. I'm sorry, dear. I'm just a bit confused right now, I said as I rubbed my temples and started to feel dizzy. Damn, that medication was kicking in big time. I began to feel a bit loopy, and everything around me seemed like a faint blur. Was this the tumor? I had no idea, but all I knew was in that moment, I needed to head back home. I quickly spun around and dashed into the women's locker room to get my belongings. Rummaging through my locker, I stuffed my gym bag like a maniac, then slammed the locker door shut. The second the door shut, standing next to me was Juan. My eyes exploded with fear and surprise. What in the hell are you doing here? You can't be in the women's locker room. Boy, are you crazy? This boy was absolutely out of his mind for sneaking in here like this. But something wasn't right. How in the world did that girl at the front desk not know he was here? Then again, that heifer was so caught up looking at her damn phone that she probably didn't even notice him stroll in. And then that personal trainer was full of hot bullshit. Got me out here thinking I was crazy. I want to fuck you, Vernita. I want to be your papi chulo. He seductively groaned, then without hesitation grabbed me and slammed me against the locker. Boy, let go of me. Are you crazy? I shouted to the top of my lungs.
I know, they finna put you away.
Me? I knew it from the moment I met you. Stop resisting me. He leaned in and started planting all types of kisses all over my neck. Then he slithered his tongue up to my earlobe and whispered in my ear. I want to get you fucking pregnant. I want you to have my baby.
Girl, sir, now you know.
He then looked me deep in my eyes and instantly my pussy began to quiver uncontrollably. Yes. Fuck me.
Oh, so she has a breed kink.
Fuck me, Mr. Juan. Fuck it. Before I do that, I want you to ride my face, he said. And without hesitation, he got down on the locker room floor and beckoned me to come sit on his face. I couldn't resist. My mind was racing with so many nasty thoughts. Not even the fear of getting caught fazed me. I didn't care.
They are going to put you
This
away.
was exactly what I wanted, what I needed in this very moment. He was playing a game on me, and he was playing it well. I pulled my gym shorts and panties down in one swoop, then tossed them off the table. My light-shaven kitten was now out in the open. My clit was throbbing and jumping. Juan licked his lips and growled, "Give it to me, mamacita.
Okay.
The cooler looks juicy."
Oh, my God.
"Oh, I'm gonna give it to you all right." And just like that, I jumped right on his face and started gyrating. Holding onto his head, I felt his tongue slither between my clit and ass.
They are going to call
With
the
his thick
police.
lips, he sucked the shit out of my pearl. Tightening my thighs around his head, I felt his beard tickle my inner thighs. My eyes rolled in the back of my head, and I knew I was going to squirt all over the place.
Oh, my God.
Yes, slob on that cat. Get it nice and wet for that dick,
No.
I groaned. Piss all over me,
What?
I heard him mumble. You want me to do what? I shouted back to him.
You heard what he said.
I said piss all over my face. I want to drink your pee. Do it, he commanded. Now that right there was a whole level of freakiness. As I felt him continue to devour my juicy guts, I succumbed to his nastiness. I drowned him out with my urine.
Okay.
Yes, Mommy, don't stop, he begged as he tried to drink up as much as he could. I glanced down and saw a puddle beginning to grow on the locker room floor around his head. Ma'am, what are you doing? Those loud words pierced me back into reality, my eyes widening with shock. I stared at the manager of the club standing there looking mortified along with some other health club employees. As I continued squatting on the ground, I glanced down and saw that Juan was once again gone, but I kept pissing all over the floor.
Is he having hallucinations?
Yes! Leave me alone, I screamed. Yo, somebody call the police. This old bitch is fucking crazy. The manager, a tall and slender black fellow, screamed. Bitch fucking pissed all over the goddamn floor. Chapter 16.
Alexa, pause.
This is getting wild.
So she decides that she wants to take 4 of those whacked out pills at once. Goes to the club, the health club, the gym. And now she's having hallucinations. And now she done pissed all over the gym floor. They told you wasn't nobody there. And you was like, everybody else is crazy and I'm perfectly fine. Girl, I told you they're coming to lock you up. It's coming. Alexa, play.
Back of a police cruiser with handcuffs slapped on my wrist. I was distraught. The cuffs were so tight. I ain't never think in 1,000 years I would get arrested, let alone get arrested for peeing all over a gym's locker room floor. That medicine obviously had me hallucinating, and I was terrified that I was seeing things that just simply weren't real. Truth be told, I didn't even know if Juan was a real person. Was I imagining him all this time? Who else did I imagine? Shit,
Okay, so
I truly had no idea. And the thought that I was losing my mind had me racked with so much dread and terror. Lord knows, soon as I got back home, whenever that was, I needed to throw that medicine away and talk to the doctor about what was really going on. I was so disturbed by everything that went down. As I sat in the back of the policeman's car, tears ran down my cheeks. Lord, I can't believe this is happening to me. I don't know what's wrong with me, I sobbed. and my body shivered. "Ma'am, please gather yourself and calm down," the burly white officer said as he sat in the driver's seat of the squad car. We were parked in the parking lot of the gym. There were 4 other cop cars surrounding us. Blue police lights flashed throughout the parking lot, and I knew this was creating a scene. As curious gym goers passed by, some of who I'd recognized, they caught a glimpse of me in the back of the policeman's car. I just knew folks were going to be gossiping about me once they found out what had happened. Lord, this meant I was probably going to have to move out of the neighborhood. Some moments later, another police officer walked up to the car I was sitting in. The police officer who was in the driver's seat rolled down his window. The other officer, a tall, older black man, leaned into the window and said, "The manager doesn't want to press charges, so she's free to go. However, they've banned her from coming." He then threw his attention at me and said, "Ma'am, you're free to go, but you cannot step foot on the gym's premises ever again. Your membership has been officially canceled." "Officer, I'm so sorry. I truly am. I don't know what came over me. I believe it's the medication I'm taking." I tried to explain as tears continued to drench my cheeks. I wanted to wipe my face so bad, but I couldn't because my hands were behind my back. "Well, if that's the case, you need to get into contact with your doctor and let them know what's going on. In fact, we can take you to the hospital if you feel like you're experiencing some sort of psychiatric distress," the officer explained. "All of that isn't necessary. I just need to get home and just sleep off this medicine. I took too much this morning, and I believe it really caused me to have these hallucinations," I exclaimed. "I'm really sorry. All of this is just so embarrassing." The officer walked over to the back passenger door, opened it, and then pulled me out. As a few more gym goers passed by, I looked at a few of them as they shook their heads in shame. The officer took the handcuffs off me, and I immediately massaged the stinging pain out of my wrist. They were hurting so bad. They had me in the back of that car for at least a good hour. "Ma'am, as I stated before, just leave the premises immediately and you are not to return ever. Just count yourself lucky that the gym manager isn't pressing charges against you," the officer said, then escorted me over to my car. Once I hopped in my car, the officers trailed me back to my townhouse. I quickly got out of the car and made my way back inside the house. My heart racing with anxiety, I felt like I was going to pass out at any moment. That medicine was working overtime all over my body. As crazy as it sounded, even when I was in the back of the squad car, I kept seeing visuals of Mr. Wan. My insides were fired up, and although I didn't have the ability to touch myself while I was in the back of the squad car, I kept having orgasm after orgasm. What in the world was going on?
Girl.
I didn't realize this medicine was that potent. I dashed down the hallway and made my way into the bathroom. Once inside, I flicked the light switch on, and I exploded into a scream when I saw Rodessa staring at me in the mirror. "How in the hell did you get into my house?" I screamed to the top of my lungs, almost ready to fight this old crazy bitch. But when I quickly gathered myself and stared at the mirror, Rodessa was just standing there. I didn't see myself at all in the mirror. As I raised my hand to my face to check to see if I was even real or if I was hallucinating again, I saw Rodessa raise her right hand as well. Then I raised my left, and Rodessa did the same. I stormed closer up to the mirror and began to poke and prod at my face, and that was when it hit me. I was Rodessa. What is going on? Why do I look like this? I'm going crazy. No. Hell no. I don't look like this. Freaked out, I stormed out of my bathroom, then flew toward my bedroom window. Pulling the curtains back, I looked across the lawn and saw that the townhouse next to me still had a for sale sign up on the lawn.
Oh, she is big tripping.
Was Rodessa even
Big
real?
tripping.
Was her fine-ass husband Ricky even real?
Please.
Was I hallucinating all of this? Baby, this was just too much for me to handle. Just to make sure I hadn't fully lost my mind, I stormed back into the bathroom and saw my real self in the mirror. Oh, child. I clasped my chest out of relief. Without hesitation, I rummaged through my medicine cabinet and pulled down the horrible medication.
Alexa, pause.
And we can't even blame the medication at this point. You took way more than the allocated
amount
measurements you're supposed to have.
Right. So this is a you problem.
This is a you problem. You are the drama. Talking about home medicine. Bitch, you're a bitch.
Horrible part. Because you didn't want to give up having relations. Now you've imagined 3 separate.
My thing is, if you was going to keep taking it, you was going to keep taking it. But why did you take 4?
Right. Why are we overdosing?
Why are we overdosing?
Like, you did this to you. No one else did this to you. It's crazy. There's, like, it's not that serious to have relations. Like, come on now. Because now you're playing with your health for real. Alright. Alexa, play.
Once I popped the lid to the bottle open, I threw all the pills down the sink and ran the faucet. Pills got me fucked up. Back in the bedroom, I pulled out my cell phone and gave that Dr. Chang Li a call. He had to know about what was happening. I needed help immediately. Some seconds later, the receptionist at the office picked up and I asked her to put the doctor on the phone. Good afternoon, Miss Washington. Is everything all right? How are you feeling? He asked once he answered the phone. Doctor, that medicine. I took it again and I think I took too much of it and I've been hallucinating. That medicine got me going crazy. I cried into the phone. My breathing was rapid and I tried to control my fluttering heart rate. Calm down, Miss Washington. I'm so glad you gave me a call because I was worried you continued taking the medication. We need to get into contact with your GP now, and I'm going to explain to them everything that's happening, he explained. If you still need to take a medication for your restless leg syndrome, we might have to switch you over to a new medication, but you need to throw away that medicine now. Hallucinations are one of the main side effects of the drug. I know. I get that now. I was hallucinating all this morning, I said back to him as I shivered. It seemed like the medicine was hitting me in waves. My insides were once again quivering, and I just had every urge to get the hell up off this phone and go find some quick dick. Miss Washington, have this been the first time you've hallucinated? Dr. Chang Li asked. Yes, I am quite certain. This was the first time ever something like this happened. What happened exactly? I went silent for a moment. Then I said, I'm too embarrassed to say, but it is bad. Very bad. I understand. Miss Washington, we may also need to bring you in for some additional evaluations, just to rule out that it is truly the medicine causing these hallucinations. The mass on your brain may be causing these issues as well. Why? My face scrunched out of disgust. I'm tired of all these goddamn tests.
You're 70.
I don't have the cancer no more. I done did enough of these tests now. No. Hell no. I can't do any of this anymore. I gotta go. I threw the medicine away. I can't handle any of this anymore. Please, Miss Washington, please just calm down. You sound very manic right now. Do you need me to send someone by to check on you?
They coming to get you.
We can have you admitted to the hospital. Hospital? You got me fucked up. I ain't going to no motherfucking crazy house. I said I threw the goddamn medicine away. Now don't fuck with me. The walls were closing in. Everything around me was spinning. No, Miss Washington, not that type of hospital. Please, just try to calm down and get yourself together for a moment. What I mean is, I think it's important we admit you to run some tests, just to rule out any possibilities that the tumor could be causing these hallucinations, along with any other personality change. No. I said no. I hung up the phone and tossed it off to the side. I shot up from the bed and began manically pacing my bedroom floor. I wasn't going crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with me.
There's
It was just this medicine fucking with me. That was it. I'd be damned if I was gonna let these doctors keep messing with me. Needing to immediately soothe my nerve, I stormed out of my room and made my way into the kitchen. I poured down an unopened bottle of some Cavassier, twisted the cap off.
You do not need no alcohol.
The liquor burned like hell as it ran down my throat, but within seconds, a sense of calm came over me.
This is crazy.
I needed some reefer, too. I stood in the kitchen for a few more moments just to gather my thoughts. Then I marched back into my bedroom. I grabbed my cell phone off the bed and saw I had a missed call from Sade. And just like that, I had forgotten I was supposed to go to the hospital since Alice was now out of her coma. I shot her a text message and told her that I'd try my best to make it up there, but I was still feeling under the weather. I needed to just sleep off this medicine and hope my life would return back to normal. My only fear, though, was that I'd slip right back into depression and not have the motivation to do anything. But at this point, I'd rather take depression than going crazy. A week had gone by, and once again I found myself held up in my house. Absolutely drained. I couldn't muster up not a single iota of strength to get up out of the bed. When I did, it was only to tinkle or to get something to eat from my kitchen. And I was barely eating. I'd have an apple or an orange here and there. For the past few days, my stomach had been in knots. Withdrawing from the medicine had been working something serious over my body. A few people had been calling me over the last few days to check in on me, but I wasn't answering anyone's phone calls. I was way too out of it. I did feel bad, though, that I hadn't checked on Alice yet.
As you should.
It was Tuesday morning, and as I looked over at my alarm clock, I saw that it was almost noon. Since I had been off that medicine, I had been sleeping for almost 12 or 13 hours every damn night. It was like my body was trying to make up for lost sleep. Just as I was about to slide out of the bed and take a shower, my phone started to buzz. I looked down at the screen and recognized the number. It was the doctor's office. Oh, Lord, what in the hell do they want with me now? I done told them I don't want no more damn tests done on me. Reluctant to answer the phone, I sat there in the bed as I watched the phone continue to vibrate. But something told me to answer, so I quickly yanked the phone off its charger, then answered. Hello? Miss Washington, how are you? This is Dr. Cheng Li. I'm just checking in on you. I rolled my eyes. I'm fine, but I can't talk long. Okay, no worries. I know the last conversation we had was a bit rough, but I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that we're here to help. I know everything has been pretty brutal this year, but I just wanted to let you know that I've been thinking about you and I'm just concerned about the tumor. What are you concerned about? You said that it's not cancerous. Right, but that doesn't mean that the tumor still may not have some sort of impact on your brain health. It could also possibly grow and then cause a hematoma, which may lead to death. This is a very serious matter, especially considering how long you've been on that medication, he explained. Silent, I sat there for a second trying to quickly conjure up a response, but hearing him plead with me made me realize he was right. Absolutely right. What was I doing? This man was a doctor trying to save my life. I was being absolutely hard-headed. Okay, doctor, you got me. I'll come in and do the test. I've just been feeling so funky, though. That is understandable. I'm glad you had a change of heart, he replied. As for the depression, it's my recommendation that we get you to talk to a psychiatrist to do an evaluation, and from there you could be prescribed an antidepressant to help with everything that's going on. Sometimes those dopaminergic drugs have very bad withdrawal and can leave patients worse off. Okay, that can work, but just to let y'all know, I'm still very upset about how this entire situation unfolded. I'm very disappointed in y'all's level of care, and I'll still be filing a complaint against Dr. Newman, and I will still be consulting with my attorney about this type of medical negligence. I'm a senior citizen, and you all should be very aware of the fact that every health decision at this point in my life matters. Understandable. Do what you have to do. But in the meantime, please just give me a time when you can come in so we can get those additional tests going. Dr. Chang Lee said as I could hear him ruffling through some papers. I can come in this afternoon. Does that work? Yes, 2 p.m. Good. I hung up the phone and went straight to the shower. Later that afternoon, I went to the doctor and let Dr. Chang Lee perform all the tests he needed. That same day, he referred me over to a psychiatrist. The following day, after talking with the psychiatrist, who just so happened to be a very smart young sister, I was put on new medication to help me deal with the depression I was experiencing. Hopefully, this medication didn't have any crazy side effects.
Hello?
They all different.
Chapter 17.
They all do is crazy.
2 weeks flew by, and just as it was the start of spring, I was beginning to experience a new life. I was back to feeling like my old self, but not my sinning self. I was filled with so much joy and energy, and by the grace of God, I was feeling 1,000% better. God is still able.
He never was.
Now that I was getting my health together,
He never
and feeling
was
like
able.
a new woman, I finally had the strength and energy to get around the neighborhood. Most importantly, I had enough strength to finally pay Alice a visit. That was actually what I had planned on this sunny, windy afternoon. The sun rays pierced through my blinds as I stood in my bedroom finishing up a yoga exercise I had playing on my television. You know, I never would have thought in a million years that a medication could have that type of impact on me. But honey, let me tell you something. I was somewhat relieved to have been delivered from that demon of sex addiction. Now, I was truly free from that crazy drug. I realized that stuff had been driving me crazy all these years and had really changed my personality. That stuff turned me into a nasty, scandalous woman, and I never wanted to go down that road again. While there was a part of me that still craved companionship, and to an extent enjoyed all of my sexual relations, I felt guilty knowing that I was out there running those streets like that. That was not me. The more I had time to let my mind, body, and soul heal, the more I realized how I really missed Clarence. While we didn't have the best marriage when it came to sex, he was a good man and really took good care of me. Sure, there were times where I wanted to leave because I wasn't able to start a family, but our marriage definitely had a lot of happy moments, and I would be forever grateful for all the good times he gave me. I just couldn't believe that while he was down and out in that nursing home, I was out there messing around with all these young boys. But that was the past. Let bygones be bygones. It was time to move forward and clean up what I messed up. I was starting my life over again. I made up my mind I ain't hoeing no more. Because a hoe just can't make it through the door. So the first thing I had to clean up was my friendship with Alice. I finished my exercise and then went straight to my bathroom to get ready. After hopping out of the shower,
You better hope Alice's still alive by the time you get
and
there.
took all of my medicine.
Right.
There was a part of me that was still apprehensive of having to take all those medications, given all of what I went through. However, baby, I was just thankful that Dr. Chang Lee didn't give up on me and saw that I received excellent medical care. After he ran a few more tests on me, it was determined that the non-cancerous tumor growing on my brain wasn't having any real impact on my health, and that it would soon shrink down due to this other medicine I was currently taking. Also, I had now started talking via phone to my psychiatrist and therapist, Dr. Kimberly Jackson. She was a wonderful young woman, and I was so relieved that I had me a black doctor who could help me get my mind right. She was helping me manage my mood. Now, the only thing that had me a tad bit concerned was that she told me there was a possibility I'd experience some weird side effects from taking the medication. But baby, let me tell you something right now. If I started to feel any type of funniness going on in my mind, I was going to stop taking that medicine. At that point, I'd just have to rely on prayer and some of my herbs to help me through. I had to say, though, that the one thing that had me relieved was that the hallucinations I'd been experiencing being on that Miraprex drug weren't as bad as it could have been. Dr. Kimberly told me that those drugs could have turned me into a full-blown psychotic. After I got done taking my medicine, I made my way out of the house and hopped in my car. Strolling down the avenue, I pulled out my phone and dialed Alice to let her know I was on the way. She had been discharged from the hospital a few days, and we finally spoke by phone last night. We talked at great length about everything that had happened. She was such a true friend indeed, and told me that even when she was down and out, not knowing whether or not she was going to live or die, she was still worried about me. Her saying that made me feel so bad, and I felt like
you ain't even go see about her
for not having the courage to visit her. But the fact that I had messed around with her fiancé some years ago still bothered me. If our friendship was going to survive, it was time to fess up and tell her everything. Renita! When she swung the door open and lunged at me, hugging her back tightly, we both cried in each other's arms. Girl, it's so good to see you, I sobbed as we rocked each other. She planted kisses all over me and then tugged me inside her home. Quickly walking over to the living room, we both sat down on the couch. Girl, you're still looking good, I commented, when I noticed she was still in good shape and didn't even look like the heart attack did anything to her. Sis, stop it. The doctor told me I had lost like 15 pounds when I was in the hospital, Alice said, smiling. But I'm just glad to be alive by the grace of God. Yes, I am too. I am so glad you made it, girl. I don't know what I would have done had you passed on.
Slept with your man,
I said. But I'm still happy to know everything turned out with your cancer. That would have been more devastating. Vanita, see, God is working some miracles throughout the world. Child, tell me about it. You ain't lying. She and I spent the next hour or so talking about all our health woes. It's just so crazy how everything just went from good to bad to now being to good, it seems, she commented. Yeah, well, that's just life, I guess. We just gotta do our part and get closer to God's will. I've been reading my Bible more and trying to get right with God, I said. I was being completely honest, too. I had been missing going to church. I need to find me a new church home, though, I said. Why? You don't like Pastor Meeks? He's such a wonderful man, Alice said as she flipped through some television channels on her TV. Yeah, he just be having folks up in church too long. I love the Lord, but I can't be up in no church for no 8 hours. I just need to hear the word and leave, I said, shaking my head. I couldn't tell her the real reason I didn't want to go back to Mount Pleasant, my old church, was because I had slept with the pastor.
Oh, good God.
Don't judge me.
Don't
Anyway,
Alexa, pause. Someone needs to come up off that pulpit. It's time to go. Pack it up.
she had a tumor and she was on terrible medication. She has an excuse.
She has the excuse.
Right. What is yours, Pastor?
Inquiring minds, sister. Inquiring minds. Alexa, play.
But yeah, I'm thinking about going over to Pilgrim Baptist on 115. Oh yeah, I love Dr. Franklin. Now he's a good preacher, Alice said, then started laughing. This is so hilarious. I would have never thought you and I would be having a conversation about church. Seemed like just months ago we would have been talking about nothing but men. Yeah, you're right, but things gotta change. Vernita gotta slow her roll. I nervously laughed. Now was the time I had to tell her the truth. Butterflies kissed my stomach, and I didn't know how exactly I would roll out this confession, but I had to get it off my chest. I had pretty much concluded that although I felt guilty for messing with this man years back, she had no right to hold a grudge against me because she wasn't dating him then. They hadn't known each other at that point. At least I didn't think they did. I simply went on a cruise, met him, and we did our thing. There was nothing more to it. Hell, he was so adamant that we have a relationship, but I didn't want one. And now, I was glad that didn't happen, because truth be told, Alice would have never had a chance to meet him, and now experience true happiness. Just like that, our conversation has shifted to the topic of Lamar. Lamar is such a good man, though. I'm so glad I met him. Before I confessed, I just had to make sure that I wasn't going crazy and that this indeed was the same Lamar.
That's true.
I was pretty sure it was, though. He had a face I'd never forget. Even with me taking that crazy medication, I could still vividly remember the good time we had on that cruise. Ooh, child, just thinking about it had me getting moist.
Okay.
But I quickly deadened those Jezebelish thoughts. So what exactly does Lamar do again? I asked. You know, it was crazy because when you were in the hospital, he had his security with him. He must have some money. Alice's beaming smile suddenly turned flat and she pursed her lips shut. She cleared her throat and then said, Well, I didn't want to tell you this, but Lamar used to be a big-time basketball player back in the late 70s, she said. Now, I never knew exactly how old Lamar was, but I knew he had to be in his late 50s or 60s. He didn't look like it, though. Didn't fuck like it either.
Okay.
Oh, hell. Stop thinking nasty, Bonita. Y'all excuse me, but I just couldn't help but to think about just how he handled my body those nights on that cruise. So what are you trying to say? You acting all weird about it and whatnot, I said back to him. Well, he's a multi-millionaire, but I didn't want him to flaunt his money around nobody. That just ain't my style, you know? What? I was shocked, but then, not really. Something even back then told me Lamar had to have some money. But damn, millions? When you say multi-millionaire, what exactly do you mean? Well, I didn't want to ask him, but I just had to know. He's worth at least $20 million. My mouth flung wide open. Girl, you hit the damn jackpot. Excuse my language. I know, but what? I just know our lives are gonna change. Honestly, I didn't even know why he was so interested in me. I mean, we hadn't even had sex yet. He's been moving pretty quickly, too. Damn, no sex? Now I was feeling even more guilty. Oh, God, this was gonna be bad. I had it in me to suddenly not tell her anything. But then I heard a voice tell me it was still the right thing to do. I had to tell her. Don't hold back, Bonita. It is what it is. Well, I'm so glad you found a man who's going to treat you right and treat you like a queen, girl. You deserve it. Yeah, I'm just still so nervous. We are actually supposed to have dinner later on tonight to talk about our wedding. He wants to elope too. Get married in Mexico.
Oh no, something's off.
Then do it. Why you want to have a big wedding any damn way? I just want all my friends and family to be there. That is a good point, but still, take advantage of it, especially considering everything that happened. Yeah, well, that's a good point indeed. The two of us got quiet and then stared off at the television. Some court show was blaring on the TV. Then the voice sounded off in my head again. Tell her, Renita. Tell her. I glanced over at her and gently placed my hand on her shoulder. Alice, I got something I need to tell you. Please, I do not want you to be mad at me. Tell me what? Her face twisted with confusion. Anxiety bubbled deep down in me. I closed my eyes and took a long breath. Well, it's complicated, but what? I went silent. Lord, please. I didn't have the strength to do it, but the voice said, just do it. You need to let go and let God. I exhaled. Well, remember years ago when I went on that cruise? Yeah. Alice's brow raised out of curiosity. Please, Vanita, just tell me what's going on.
Yes.
I don't like surprises like this.
Stop the hemming and hawing.
Suddenly, Alice clenched her stomach and squeezed her eyes shut. Hold that thought, she muttered. She sounded anguished. Everything all right? I asked, sounding concerned. You got me nervous now. My stomach is hurting. All of a sudden, Alice blasted up from the couch.
Alice.
I need to use the restroom. I feel like I'm going to vomit.
Now
Is
you done
everything
killed
all right, though? Do I need to call someone? No, I'm fine. It's just this medicine the doctor got me on sometimes causes extreme nausea. I'll be right back, she said as she then quickly made her way toward the staircase. I followed her up the stairs, feeling very concerned. Are you sure, though, girl? I'm sure, Alice said as she labored up the steps. Here, let me help you, I said as I got to her side and helped her upstairs. Lord knows she didn't need to be running up and down the stairs like this. I was pretty certain the doctor would agree with me as well. Take your time, Alice, I told her. Then, once we approached the door of the guest bathroom, I had to stand by and listen just to make sure she was okay. Although I wanted to listen to the voice and tell her the truth about everything, another voice told me to back down. This wasn't the right time. This would be absolutely devastating to her. Hell, she just got out of the hospital. This type of confession would surely break her heart. Still standing guard near the door, I leaned against it and listened to see if she was okay. Oh, shit, she bellowed, and then I heard the sound of what had to be diarrhea blasting out of her rectum and into the toilet. Then a bomb of farting went off. My eyes widened out of disgust. I didn't need to hear all of that. What kind of medicine did the doctor have her on? Her bowels sounded very loose. Now that I thought about it, shit, maybe I needed to ask her what the doctor gave her, because my bowels lately had been a bit clogged up. Child, I hadn't even used the bathroom in nearly 2 days.
I know, that's crazy.
I tried everything. Prune juice, fiber. Hell, I even took me some milk of magnesia and nothing was working. Perhaps that was a side effect of these new medications Dr. Kimberly and Dr. Chang Lee had me on. Some moments later, I heard the sound of her spraying air freshener in the bathroom. Then the sound of the toilet flushing along with the faucet running escaped the door. Thank God nothing was seriously wrong. Just sounded like whatever she was taking just gave her the runs. The bathroom door flung open and I took a step back because I'd be damned if I was going to smell what came out of her. Sorry about that, child. Oh, Lord, sometimes that medicine got my colon doing jumping jacks. It's okay. I need me something like that because my bowels are locked up, I said. We both exploded into laughter, then slowly waltzed over near the staircase. We began to head back down, but then Alice turned around and said, "Please, just go ahead and tell me what happened. Did you catch something on that cruise?" "No," I snapped. "Why would you say that?" "Well, what else could it be?" I took another deep breath, then exhaled. I slept with Lamar. I just let it out. I don't know why it came out that way, but it did. "Excuse me?" Alice's face suddenly turned sour. "What did you say?" "Girl, please don't be mad at me, but I had messed around with Lamar while I was on that cruise." Alice stood there for a moment. This empty look filled her gaze at me, almost as if she was staring at her dead mother. "Wait, I just need you to say what I thought you said. You did what now?" "I said I slept with Lamar, Alice." "Damn, now please don't make me say it again." "When? How?" "You lying," she roared, her angry voice echoing all through the house. "Please calm down, Alice. You're gonna put too much stress on yourself. Let's just go downstairs and let me explain everything." Rapidly shaking and waving her finger no at the same time, she said, "Nuh-uh. No. You need to tell me every motherfucking thing about this bullshit right now. This is probably the real reason why your lousy ass didn't even bother to come by and visit me, isn't it?" "Alice, please. Let's just sit down and talk about this." "No, I ain't got nothing to say about it. I should have known. Should have motherfucking known. I just knew this was all too good to be true," she cried. "My own damn friend fucked my man, the only man who ever really loved me." "Alice," I cried, as terror and dread filled my body. I damn near was about to vomit on myself. See, I knew something told me not to say anything. I don't know why I listened to that stupid-ass voice going off in my head. "Don't say anything to me. Just get the fuck out of my house." "Alice, don't do me like that. This was years ago, on the cruise." "I don't trust a goddamn thing you're saying. You gonna come up in my motherfucking house and tell me some bullshit like that? Bitch, are you crazy?" Her face turning red. I could see she was becoming extremely flustered, and I really needed to calm her down before she ended up having another heart attack. "Alice, please. Let's just go downstairs and talk about this before you get yourself all worked up."
She done told you to get out of her house.
Baby. I can explain everything." "Don't say shit to me, you nasty old bitch," she thundered. "But you know what? Now that you told me what you did, I'm glad I did what the fuck I did years ago. I didn't regret any of it now." My brow raised out of absolute confusion. "What are you talking about, Alice?" I cried back to her as my body shuddered out of control. I damn near had to sit down myself to get it together. "Ha! I guess this is all karma. I'll be damned. You fucked my man. Well, guess what, honey?
No, she didn't.
I fucked your man. Yep, baby, I fucked Clarence. I was fucking him for years. And guess what? His dick was good. He used to complain about your dry-ass crotch all the time. Baby, he was dicking me down and eating me out so good." My eyes widened with absolute surprise.
"Oh, no, ma'am."
I clutched my mouth. "You're lying. Stop lying. You're just saying that. That is a horrible thing to say. How dare you?" "Bitch, I ain't lying. I fucked Clarence. Believe it, baby."
She said what she
may
said.
have a shrimp dick, but bitch, he knew how to work that little dick of his. And his tongue, he used to eat my ass every night and would still go home to kiss your raggedy ass.
"Oh, no, ma'am."
All them years you was kissing him, bitch, you were tasting my ass and pussy. Yeah, bitch. Now stop it. Stop it right now, Alice. I done had enough of you. You stop this right now. You are losing your mind." Bitch, I ain't lying. You want proof? Bitch, I know Clarence had one testicle. He only had one ball, his right ball. And I used to lick on that every night, too. After he got done eating my ass, of course. My heart completely stopped. Right then and there, I knew she was absolutely telling the truth. Clarence indeed only had one testicle. And it was for that very reason we could never conceive. We tried for years to have a child, but it never happened.
That's what you get, ho.
2 years into our marriage,
No,
Clarence
Miss
was
Alice is
diagnosed with
completely in the wrong.
testicular cancer.
That's what you
At
get,
the
ho.
time, the doctor
Pricey,
told him
knowing
he
your
had
man.
no other choice but to remove his
But she
left
was messing with her
testicle.
man while they was
After
married.
the surgery, we were told that our chances of conceiving were still pretty high, but it never
I don't
happened.
think Vanita deserved all
We
of
tried
that.
everything for a decade until I became too old to have children. Hearing this almost induced a heart attack, and I could feel my chest tighten. Yes, bitch. Go come in my motherfucking
Alexa,
house.
pause.
Okay, so both of them is just trifling, terrible.
Trifling. But actually, Vernita is not trifling. It was her medicine.
No, I was talking about the way she was dogging her out and calling her all this stuff and all this thing, all these things.
It was
she wasn't a good friend.
It was the tumor.
No.
I say it's the tumor, and Kimani says it's not. Either way, yes.
She's not a good friend. She didn't go to the hospital to see her friend.
That's true.
She was talking
That's
crap
true.
about her.
And her daughter.
And the daughter.
You know what? They made for each other.
She's not a good person, but she's not a good friend. But Miss Alice is the worst friend.
Yeah.
She's a worst friend because, hey.
Wasn't nothing wrong with Alice, so she's sleeping with her man for years, she said.
For years.
Vernita got to get her lick back. Now you got to get your lick back.
Now you got to get your lick back.
Ain't that your friend? Alexa.
No.
Play.
And try to spill secrets. Well, take that, she shouted at me as I fell into what seemed like an asthma attack. You ain't right, I cried. Your ass ain't right. Why would you do that to me? All these years, and this how you do me? Hurricane-like tears fell out of my eyes, and all I wanted to do was just fall out and die. Lord, this was just too much to handle. Why are you doing this to me, God? Oh, and another motherfucker.
Okay, now that's
your ass may not have had a child, but guess what? Clarence sure did have one by me, and her name is Sade. I guess.
Oh, this is crazy.
You're lying. Stop it. Nope, not lying. Bitch, I still got the DNA test. Stop it. Just stop it. Panicking, the walls began to close.
Alexa, pause.
If you ain't beat the hell out of Alice, Vanita, if you ain't beat that woman into another coma, you ain't never gonna get your lick back.
Well, all I'm gonna say is you're gonna have to watch the next one.
It was one thing to fuck the man. It was one thing to fuck her husband. But to have a kid with him, you can't get it don't matter if you fuck with that man now. You cannot get an equate of a lick back from Alice, okay? You cannot get it. You just have to beat her up. You have to beat her up.
Do indeed need to throw
You need to beat her up.
All right, hold on. Great. All right, well, this is the final look. We went in with the Beats by Deb in the Buff palette. Followed that up with the I Am, the Lightworks 5 palette by Janessa Myricks. On blush, we have the blush binder from the Crayon Case. And for contour, we used Milani. For concealer, we used Milani. Setting spray, we used e.l.f. On the lips, it's so many different things. It's Huda Beauty pencil. It's 2 different lipsticks from Crayon Case, followed up with gloss by e.l.f. But let's talk about the story. If you made it this far, you just heard one of the biggest face cracks in this book. Vernita's quote-unquote best friend of decades been sleeping with her late husband, who Vernita thought could not conceive a child. Turns out her best friend's daughter is her daughter-in-law. To find out what happens next, you're just going to have to watch the next one. But I did want to thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Again, my name is Shay. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, friend.
Julie, do the thing.